So guys, it's me, Grey Wolf, back to do another video for you. This video is gonna have a twist. So lately, I've seen out on the internet a bunch of people who make videos while they're drunk. I don't know if you guys have seen these or not. There's one called My Drunk Kitchen. Some crazy ass chick fucking gets hammered and cooks shit and usually fucks it up and makes a big mess. It's hilarious. There was one where this girl got drunk and decorated a Christmas tree. There's a whole slew of them out there. You have to check it out. So this is Grey Wolf's Drunk Studios. There's two things you gotta have to make a Grey Wolf Drunk Studios video. One is alcohol. The other is something RC related that you're gonna try to do a video about, but you'll probably fuck it up. That's alright. Cheers. So, for this I pulled out the old Canadian Club Reserve, aged 10 years. This is actually very good stuff for the price. Not quite Crown Royal, but about half the price. And on top of that, not only do I like my Canadian whiskey, I like to do shots in between drinks, typically. And today we're going to be doing shots of Yukon Jack. Now, for this special occasion, I've pulled out my favorite shot glass, which is a box shot glass. Box is my second favorite type of vodka. I like two types of alcohol. I don't drink beer. Beer tastes like camel piss as far as I'm concerned. And there's two types of alcohol I like. I like vodka and I like Canadian whiskey. Grey Goose is probably my favorite vodka. But Grey Goose is goddamn expensive. It's like Crown Royal. It's so expensive, it ain't worth fucking drinking. Not that I can't afford it. I could if I wanted to, but I'd rather spend my money on RCs than alcohol. And I'm not a big drinker, don't get me wrong. But when I do drink, there's certain things I enjoy. So, let's just dive right into this, shall we? Yeah. Funny story about Yukon Jack. I used to despise this shit. It tastes kind of like black licorice, and I hate licorice. But my cousin, who's no longer with us, God rest his soul, my cousin used to love doing shots of either Yukon Jack or Captain Morgan Tattoo. And Captain Morgan Tattoo, unfortunately, the local liquor stores around here quit carrying Tattoo in the pint-sized bottles, and so I've been getting Yukon Jack lately. Anyway, the point that I was trying to make was my cousin got me hooked on doing shots of this stuff, and I don't know why, because I hate licorice. But for some reason, I developed a taste for this stuff. It's pretty good, actually, once you get used to it. If you like licorice, you'll probably love it. Enough about that. Let's get on to what today's video is about. And it's about this fucking thing right here. And if you don't know what this thing right here is, this is an Ascend. Let me try that again. This is an Ascendancy clutch. And this thing right here is moose tits, let me tell you. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you why it's moose tits. Actually, I think moose tits would probably be a bad thing. How about we just say it's the tits? Tits are good, right? Moose tits, not so much. Alright, it's the tits. And I'll show you why. If you've never used one of these, and I've never used one of these before, I actually got this from a used Pico P3.28 engine that I bought used off of somebody. Thank you for that one, override. Even though I turned right around and broke it. And the replacement part cost me as fucking half as much as the engine did. Ridiculous. Now, what is the deal with that? I'm going to go on a fucking rant here. Excuse me. But I'm going to go on a rant here for a second. A Pico P328 engine is supposed to be an ultra badass engine for the money. It's supposed to be basically one of the best engines you can buy for the money. A Pico P328 costs just under 200 bucks. It's the only Italian-made engine you can get for under 200 bucks. I've never owned one yet. I wanted to own one. I was going to buy one. I was going to buy one new. My buddy Override from the forum, from the main forums that I go to, which is RCNitroTalk.com. He sold me, and this isn't it, by the way, but it's broken in the box over there. I'm waiting for the replacement part. I'm using a OS 30 VG for this example. It's a mediocre engine, by the way. It's not that great. I mean, it's fine. It's an OS. It's not terrible. But the LRP 28 Spec 3, better than this. And it's cheaper, a lot cheaper. So, at any rate, I bought the engine, the Ascendancy. I can't say that when I'm half blitzed. The Ascendancy clutch came with it. He gave it to me with it. And this clutch is awesome because the only thing I've used up to this point is your standard 2 and 3 shoe clutches. 3 shoe clutches are probably one of the most prevalent clutches out there. They're also one of the biggest pain in the asses there are out there to work on. This thing is the cat's meow, man, and I'm going to show you why after I done rambled on. This is the tool. Oops. This is the Ascendancy clutch tool that comes with it. This is the only tool. This is the only thing that you need to do this. To take it off of here and to take off the clutch springs, replace the clutch spring. Well, you really need a little flathead screwdriver to take it off, but who doesn't have one of those, right? So, let me get more comfortable here. So, and okay, so I just noticed something. And I'm sure people are going to point this out. I actually meant to change shirts before I made this video, because right before I made this video, I ate a hot dog and some macaroni and cheese. Well, some of the ketchup and mustard from the hot dog ended up on my shirt. And I actually meant to change my shirt before I did this video, but I'm drunk and I fucking forgot, and I don't really care anymore. I'll go change it after. So you can make fun of me if you want, because I got shit on my shirt. I don't care. It's funny. Oops. Alright, so I'm going to switch to the overhead view for this so I can show you guys how this clutch works, because this clutch is the bomb. Alright, so let's see here. Let me zoom in a little bit. Alright, so the first thing you got to do is take out the clutch nut, right? Well, that's what this side of the tool is for. As you can see, there's a little nut shaped spacer there, and this just fits right down on top of there, like so. And all you got to do is hold the flywheel, and you can untwist it. Now you may have to get something to hold the flywheel steadier. I only put this on here hands tight just for purposes of the video. So clutch nuts off. Now you can just take the whole flywheel off, which there it goes. Okay. And we're just going to set the engine aside. So now we're left with this, and this is easy. Let me get my screwdriver here. So this little black plate right here it's like a retainer, and basically all we got to do is kind of just pop it up off the little pegs. It's very easy. It just slides right up off the pegs. And once you get it out a little bit, you should just be able to pull it right out of there. And that's what it looks like. Now mine's scratched up. And then we're left with the 4 shoes and springs. And as you can tell, they're just sitting on there nice and free. So we're just going to go ahead and take all of those off of there. Springs, shoes, everything. So we're just left with the flywheel. So we're just left with the flywheel. So, in order to put this thing, now these clutches are completely tunable, by the way, and they cost about 50 bucks. They're actually cheaper on Ascendancy's website than they are on eBay, which is, you don't find that too often, but they are. Although, I went to order new shoes today for this, and I couldn't because something's wrong with their website. But anyway, I'm assuming they'll get that straightened out sooner or later. So these are the springs. Let's see if I can get one in focus here for you. So these are the springs. These are very small springs. And these are the shoes. Mine do have some wear on them, but that's okay. And as you can see on the shoes, oops, on the shoes, as you can see, one of these edges sticks out farther than the shoe itself. This is the side that goes down toward the bottom of the flywheel. This side right here is. Now all you got to do to assemble this, and this is very, very easy. I should be able to do it while I'm drunk. And I don't know if you have any shot at seeing this at all on this camera. I might have to switch to the other camera. My other camera. Let me get a flashlight. my other camera does have a tendency to focus better, but if you're looking down inside this shoe, you can see, there you go, you can see that hole right there inside the shoe. Alright, what that hole is for is, okay, on the spring there's a long side of the spring and a short side of the spring, right? This hole makes it really easy. There's only two ways that this spring is going to go into this shoe, because you put the long end. I hate this overhead camera, it doesn't want to focus up close. You put the long end of the spring in the hole of the shoe. And here's the thing, if you put it the wrong way, the hole in the middle of the spring isn't going to line up with these two holes here. So if it ends up like that, you just kind of pull it out just a little bit, flip it around, put it back in the opposite direction until the spring lines up with the hole, with the other two holes. And then of course you want the short stubby part of the spring pointing inward toward the inside of the shoe, not the outside. Of course, like I said, you can only put it in one of two ways. So if the spring hole's lining up with the other holes, this little stubby point's going to be pointing inside. Once you get it like that, all you got to do at that point is just slide it onto one of the posts of the flywheel. And like I said, make sure this notched part, make sure this notched part goes toward the bottom of the flywheel. Okay, real simple, and it's just going to swing back and forth there. Real simple. And we're just going to do that with the other three. And of course, all the shoes are going to be facing the same direction. That's obviously important. Now, the Ascendancy clutches are completely tunable. If I didn't mention this already, the Ascendancy clutches they're about $50 a piece, but compared to your typical 3-shoe clutch, this is like a dream come true. This is like a fucking RC wet dream right here. Hang on a minute, I need another drink. Hang on. So once you get it like that, then you just kind of put all the shoes, close to the center like normal, and we're going to take the retaining clip and we're going to put it on there so that these holes, let's see if I can get this in focus here, these holes, yeah, there we go, there's holes on each of the 4 corners of the retaining clip. Those holes are going to line up with the little stubby spring parts that are still in there, and which consequently means it's going to snap down on the thing originally like this, where each corner of the retainer is basically going to be in between 2 posts. Okay, that's exactly the way it's supposed to be to start. Now, this is a double purpose tool. You got the clutch nut remover on one side, and you got the other tool part on the other side. Now, all this tool is for is basically putting it on the retaining clip. Come on, camera, focus. There we go. All you do is put it on the retaining clip, and then you twist the retaining clip until the corners of the retaining clip they line up with the little post, and in fact they'll catch a little bit on the post, and all you got to do at that point is just push it down and lock it into place. It just snaps right into place, and at that point you've just created, or you've just reshoed your 4-shoe Ascendancy clutch. This thing is freaking amazing. 3-shoed clutches are such a pain in the ass to change. I will gladly pay $50 for this. And here's the thing too, I started to mention this a couple times but didn't follow through with my thoughts on this. The Ascendancy clutches are completely tunable. There's 3 different strength of springs that you can get. You can get the gold one, or I'm sorry, the green ones, which are the softest. You can get a gold one, which is like the in-between, and then you can get a silver one, which is the stiffest. And then not only that, but you can also get either aluminum shoes or carbon shoes. They're some kind of carbon composite type shoes. Both react a little bit different ways. So you can tune your car with with various different types of springs and two different types of clutch shoes. They also actually have 2 different flywheels. They have an aluminum flywheel, which is very lightweight, which is the one I have here, and then they also have a steel flywheel, which is heavier and is just one more tuning option. The steel is supposed to have a little bit greater rotating mass, and therefore it's supposed to accelerate a little smoother on high bite surfaces, if I remember correctly. But it goes further than that. You can tune them even more than that. You can set these to where you could run, say, 2 aluminum and 2 carbon composite shoes at the same time, and you could even run, like, say, 2 green springs on your aluminum shoes and 2 gold ones on your carbon composite shoes, or whatever. They're like so tunable, it's amazing, and they're so easy to take apart and put together. It's ridiculous. Another good thing about these is that the aluminum shoes, well, actually the aluminum and carbon composite shoes are actually about the same price, which I found rather kind of odd, because typically, like in your 3-shoe clutch setups, your carbon composite shoes are generally cheaper than the aluminum shoes. But if you're comparing aluminum shoes, the aluminum shoes for these are about the same price, or maybe even just a little bit cheaper than at least the aluminum, the dynamite aluminum shoes, which is what I usually get for my 3-shoe clutches. So I just thought I'd share that with you guys, because I've never seen one of these before. I didn't even know they existed, and I was so impressed with it. It took me about 5 minutes or so researching on the internet to stumble across the instructions, because the guy that sold it to me didn't give me instructions with it or whatever. And when I first saw it, I was like, what the hell is this? I'm like, I never seen no damn clutch like this. But after I found the instructions and I started looking at it, I was like, holy crap, that's That's amazing. And I immediately tore it apart and put it right back together again to see how hard it was. And I was just like, I was awestruck at how simple this was. So that's about all I got for this one. And I'm sure that I probably could have done that video in about 5 minutes if it hadn't been for this. 'Cause I know I'm rambling right now. I ramble in all my videos, but get me drunk and I won't shut up, so yeah. So that's it for this one. Stay tuned for more. Well, probably not more drunken ones, because this is just a one-time thing. I just thought it'd be fun for a goof. This video, I knew it wasn't going to be very long because this clutch was so simple. So I kind of enjoyed watching some of these other drunk videos or whatever, and I actually am quite intoxicated, although I do a very decent job at functioning while I'm intoxicated. So I might not be, I might not look as quite as intoxicated as what I am, but trust me, I am. Anyway, look me up on my Facebook page. If you like RC pics, I should say. I got all my RC pics there. I don't have any pics of me wearing dirty shirts though there, and I'm probably not going to. But anyway, checking them out, www.facebook.com/GrayWolfStudios74, all one word. And if you have any questions or comments, you can either leave me questions and comments there, or you can hit me up on, or you can, what am I trying to say? Or you can hit me up via email at GrayWolfStudios74@gmail.com. Peace.